Hi, what's up everyone? Darren again from Fast Track Property, where I transform your lives and improve your destination. I think it's timely to release this video to share my thoughts on this since it's the start of the year. New beginnings, new discovery, necessary changes, right? In the old ways, to be defined as successful, if you can still remember, it would mean that you own a car, a condominium, you have credit cards to spend, you have cash, and you also own a country club membership. And all this leads to success, right? Nah, I don't really believe it, alright? So what then should be the new 5 C's to take us through the next decade? In my humble opinion, instead of car, I think it should be company. Let me tell you a quick story. One day, I was at a coffee shop, in between having a meal, I was meeting my customers, and that was about 2 p.m. in the afternoon over the weekend. And I had this gentleman sitting across me looking at his phone and shouting to a group of people just beside us, right? And because their backs were against me, I could not see nor understand what was happening, and it was also because they were speaking in Cantonese. But I knew it was quite exciting because many people were crowding around this person on the other table, and he was holding on to a phone. And I was definitely very curious with all the shouting happening around me. And when I finally managed to sneak a peek, I realized they were betting on horses. You must have heard this saying, right? Show me your friends and I can tell you your future. Being in the right company or your social circle is so very important. And I also realized it is the same as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, the real skill lies not in just cost management, but also in firing, not hiring. Because firing is tougher when relationships has already been built, but at the same time, more necessary than ever. So whoever you are at whatever age group you are in, do evaluate if the people you spend the most time with is the right company. That will help you grow as a person, financially, good family values, emitting positive energy, or are they just bitching around and complaining every day, cheating on their partners, poor family values? And if you are still going to spend most of your time with them, you better change your circle of friends, or, well, fill in the blanks yourself, right? Okay. The next C, instead of condo, I choose capital gains. All of you following me will know by now why I always choose capital gains over rental yield. Holding on to your condominium for 20 to 30 years is definitely better than just owning a HDB, but it doesn't really significantly improve your family's lifestyle. Today, just owning one and living in it and working towards paying it off is the silliest strategy. Learning the art of capitalizing on capital gains will then translate to multiple properties and will then transform into multiple assets across multiple asset classes. For all of you that have applied into my FB group, we have received this strategy in PDF via your FB Messenger, and this shows how I purchase other assets using property as my base foundation. It is now more important than ever for us to master the art of using money to produce more money, and especially the sweetener is to do it tax-free. So in whichever country you are in, find out the best way to earn tax-free capital gains. The next C, instead of cash, I replace it with curiosity. For all parents listening to this, do not stop your child from exploring and discovering. Do not be disillusioned, right? Gone are the days of lessons that says that study hard and get a good paying job will then lead you to a stable and comfortable lifestyle. Back in the early days of Singapore, there was a demand for educated people because there was not enough supply, and the demand was tremendous. 50 years later, this has been inverted. There is too much supply. For every job role that requires a minimum basic degree, companies receive 100 applications. And I think this will only increase moving forward as we continue to push our children into a non-specialized field. And there is a competition parents will be putting your children in. And though that is not with ill intentions, the truth is that we just want our kids to be able to live a comfortable lifestyle, be financially independent, and if you do not want to repeat the mistakes of Nokia, right, its CEO back in 2016 ended his speech saying, "We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost." And this came to a conclusion. The advantage you have yesterday will be replaced by the trends of tomorrow. You don't have to do anything wrong. As long as your competitors catch the wave and do it right, you will lose out and fail. So parents with children as young as mine, we need to think about what the world needs and demands in 20 years' time. If not, we'll be committing a huge mistake by preparing our children for a world that does not exist in the future. In the past, we could use the excuse that information was not readily available and therefore did not possess the knowledge of many investment opportunities, business opportunities, and what have you. But today, in this fast digital moving age, we need to be aware that there is an expiry on our knowledge, right? There should not be any more excuses and we need to keep up and take calculated risks. For the younger generation, those of you still in school, look around for opportunities. The younger you start opening your eyes to look for problems to solve, the faster you get to exercise that part of your brain, and in your later years, it will form part of your process. The next C, instead of credit card, I choose coach. This person primarily is a person that believes in you and encourages you. They give you valuable feedback about seeing things from new perspectives and setting your sights on new horizons. This does not mean you only need one coach. I have different coaches for different segments of my life, ranging from business development to personal values. And they are there if I ever stray away and get too arrogant and forget my roots or original purposes. And therefore, if I can offer you an analogy, I would say that I'm the pilot of my plane. Yep. My co-pilot is my wife, and we are flying towards our destination. We will be hit by winds of all directions, isn't it? And this is what causes turbulence. The purpose of all my coaching is to realign my flight path so that I still reach the destination that I want to go, right? And to expand on this analogy, for those of you not married yet but thinking to propose, all right, it is best to share your crazy ideas, your crazy dreams, the risks, or even if you decide to choose complacency and simplicity, make sure your co-pilot is on board willingly, all right? Do not manipulate emotional love because ultimately, your innocent children will have no choice and they are the passengers behind you. And finally, the final C. Instead of country club, I choose persistency. In the past decade, I've gone to many boot camps, leadership camps, Tony Robbins camps, and after attending all those courses, I decided to stop going for such boot camps. And the reason is that from all these camps, there's one thing I find in common after attending, and that is we get so charged up, right? Doing the planning, writing down, committing to make whatever necessary changes to achieve our unique vision and lifestyle that we have imagined for ourselves. And I realized that this charged up fire does not last more than a month. In fact, many has gone back to their old ways and their way of life just after a week. And I've come to realize that it was the environment, okay, with all these people attending the course that gave out this positive energy, and at that time, you felt that all was possible. But when you get back home and back to the same social circle that you mixed with, and if they didn't give out that same energy and encouragement, you will find yourself signing up for more of such courses just to get back to the same environment. Does this make sense to you? So therefore, consistency has to be achieved. And how do we then do that? I'll let you know what I do and you see for yourself if it helps, right? I spend at least 10 to 15 minutes speaking to myself every night, evaluating if the day spent was productive, what I could have done better, and if I was still on track towards my vision of life for my family. And the second habit I do is that I spend most of my driving, right, listening to YouTube videos, and if there was anything inspiring, such as this.
So I went down to Miami, stayed with my uncle in a little condominium, and knocked on doors, got thrown out by radio stations. But one station, a small station, hired me. And they said, "We think you have some talent. The first person gets fired or leaves, you got the job." Wow, I hung around that station, I swept up the floors. I watched them do news, I watched them do sports, I watched them do disc jockey work, interviews, anything, just to absorb it, waiting for my break. Then one day I got it. On Friday, the general manager called me in, he said, "Larry, Tom Baird just quit. He quit because he was making $50 a week, and his alimony was $60 a week." Tom Baird, not a mathematical genius, figured out that he cannot survive. So he said, "He's leaving, you got the job." This was Friday. Monday morning, you'll be on the air from 9 to 12. You'll play records and you'll talk. In the afternoon, you'll do sports and news. You'll be paid $50 a week. Go get them. And folks, I went home that weekend and I never slept. I kept prowling the rooms. Good morning, good morning. I'm Larry, here's my record. Good morning, good morning. My name was Larry Zeiger at the time, was legally changed later. So I kept saying, my name is Larry Zeiger. My name is Larry Zeiger. Good morning, how does it sound? My name, I never slept. Now I get to the radio station, it's the morning of my debut, May 1st, 1957. My dream is about to come true. The general manager of the station called me and he said, we're ready for you, Larry. We wish you a great career. What name are you going to use? I said, I got to go on the air in 5 minutes and I don't have a name. He says, well, and he had the paper open, the Miami Herald, and there was an ad for King's Wholesale Liquors. And so he said, why not Larry King? I said, why not? So I was Larry King. Now I go into the broadcast booth. Picture this. My theme song is Les Elgart swinging down the lane. Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum. I'm going to fade the record, turn on the mic, and speak. I fade the record, I turn on the mic, nothing comes out. I bring up the record, I fade the record, and then I look at the clock, it's 4 minutes after 9, and I say to myself, well, I tried, but I can't do it. I don't have the guts. I thought I had it. I don't have the persistence. I thought I had it. Maybe I just wasn't cut out for it. I'm too scared. And the general manager kicked open the door to the control room. And he said, Larry, this is a communications business, damn it. Communicate. And he shut the door. And I did something then that I would do today. And I learned something then that I would do today. And that was be honest. I turned on the mic, faded the record, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is my first day on the radio. My name is Larry King. That's the first time I've ever said that. I have been sitting here scared to death, and you've been hearing music going up and down, probably wondering if there was an earthquake in the station. But I want to tell you, I was scared to death because all my life I wanted to be in radio. Now I had my chance and I was scared. So bear with me. I really want this. I want it to work. So I'm going to do my best. At that minute, I had them and I never, ever again was ever nervous on radio or on television because I learned a simple truth that day. If you're honest with your audience, you can't go wrong.
And I listen to this perhaps once a week so that I'm guided whenever I produce a video such as this, because it is so easy to forget. And all you need to do is to create a playlist and save all your favorite motivational, inspirational, life value videos all inside and set time to listen to them. I listen to it in my car because that is the only time I have to make time to listen to the videos. And you can do the same by converting it into an MP3 or subscribing to a podcast or whatever best ways that works for you. Therefore, work towards getting the new 5 C's, surrounding yourself with the right company, work towards capital gains, always stay curious, get yourself a coach, and stay consistent is the new way forward. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed producing it, and to all my Chinese followers, 新年快乐! 生意兴隆，阖家幸福，恭喜发财。Stay safe and speak to all of you soon.